Hey guys, welcome back to Bombchu. I'm Austin, and today I'll be looking at the Humble Monthly Bundle from December 2018. This month's Humble exclusive is Cut and Run, a sword-slashing spin on Katamari. You have a sword that grows bigger whenever it cuts things. It can only cut things if it's big enough. So you walk around swinging at things you think you might be able to cut, circling back around to get the bigger stuff when you've grown in size. It's a really fun concept. The controls can be a little finicky, and starting out you feel pretty slow, but you can purchase upgrades with gold that you find, including speed upgrades, which I found necessary to beat one of the levels. The end goal is to stop a meteor, so I can only imagine what the game will look like when you get the sword big enough for that. I'll continue this one. NeuroVoider is a twin-stick shooter roguelite. You play as a brain and a robot with swappable upgradable parts. Some of these just change stats, but others change bullet behavior or even your class. The goal of each level is to destroy all the generators, then you get to choose the next level you play. You can go for a smaller level with not a lot of enemies, or you can go for a hard level with lots of loot. Choose wisely, because if you die, it's back to the beginning you go, and the levels will be different each playthrough. And you'll die. A lot. This game is hard, but helping you to keep going are the very appealing pixel art and the excellent pumping synthwave soundtrack. I don't know if I'll play a lot more on my own, but it supports 4-player co-op, and I may give that a shot sometime. Either way, I'll definitely be listening to more of that soundtrack. Mega Man Legacy Collection contains the first 6 Mega Man games from the NES. If you're a Mega Man fan, you know what this is all about, and if you aren't, let me go ahead and tell you to start with Mega Man 2. Mega Man 1 has its place in history, but it's a frustrating game that tops out at being okay. Onto the gameplay, you'll run, jump, shoot, and platform. Lots of stuff kills you in one hit, and there are pits everywhere with knockbacks when you take damage. And of course, respawning enemies. This might not sound appealing, but when balanced right like it is in Mega Man 2, it's just hard enough to not be frustrating, while also making you feel great when you beat a level. Each level has a boss at the end of it, and defeating a boss gives you that boss's power. These can be useful to get bonuses in certain levels, but also come in handy for dramatically powering you up against other bosses. Each boss is weak to another boss's power, like Woodman's Leaf Shield clogs up Airman's turbines. In general though, I prefer to stick with the classic Mega Buster most of the time. It just feels so right. If NES hard is too hard for you, fear not. This collection has save states, which you can use to retry a hard section until you succeed, or if you don't believe in save states, you can use it to practice for a clean run. Oh man, I almost forgot, the music. This is some of the best NES music out there, and there's remixes galore throughout the internet. I love Mega Man, and I'm happy to play these again and again. Zombie Army Trilogy is a collection of Zombie Nazi Army 1 and 2, adding in a third and final chapter. Zombie Nazi Army is a spin-off of Sniper Elite, using the same engine and guns, but changing the gameplay to favor action over stealth. And hot damn, it works. It's super satisfying to pop zombie heads one after another with a sniper rifle without having to worry about making too much sound or finding a new vantage point. And of course, it supports co-op, which is a blast. I don't know if I'd play this by myself much again, but I certainly wouldn't mind playing with friends. This next section I covered at the end of last month's bundle. If you've already seen my coverage of Forager, Metal Gear Solid 5, and City Skylines, you may want to skip ahead. Timestamps for each game in the bundle are listed down below. Forager is a game inspired by the likes of Stardew Valley, Terraria, and The Legend of Zelda, and from what I've played so far, it's really satisfying. You start off on a small island with bushes, trees, rocks, and ores that continually spawn over time. You hit these with your pickaxe to break them down and craft a furnace. What can you make with the furnace? Stuff to make an anvil, which uses materials from the furnace to make money, tools, keys, you name it. Money is used to buy more land, expanding where you can go. While you're chopping and crafting, you'll earn experience and gain levels, which you can use to get new skills. Unlocking a skill reveals new ones nearby, giving you a taste of what's next, so you want to keep going. You'll also get hungry while you work, and while you can just eat food you find in bushes, you can work smarter by using that food to create fish traps, which can help keep you fed forever if you have enough of them. As you expand your land, you'll start to find monsters, and you'll have to defend yourself. Kill them for materials to make stronger tools and weapons. It's super well polished, and I only ran into a couple of bugs. The biggest one being that if you're running this game on a high refresh monitor, make sure to turn on VSync or the game will run way too fast. Most of the time when Humble adds a demo to a monthly bundle, at most I'm interested in getting the full version in a sale or a bundle sometime later. This time, I'm actually really interested to get Forager when it comes out. It's scheduled to release sometime before the winter. Cities Skylines is the city building game that dethroned SimCity as the king of the genre. Oh hey, did you know that I'm truly terrible at city builders? And it's no different this time around. I built roads in, made some neighborhoods and commercial areas, gave them power, water, and sewage, realized I was running out of money, made an industrial area which also needed power, water, and sewage. Then I realized there wasn't enough power for my sewage and water pumps, so I added power for those, and what do you know? I was already out of money, with the only way to get a loan being to get way more people to live in my city than I already had. Yes, I suck. And I don't know what makes one city builder better than another. But if you like city builders and you somehow don't have Cities Skylines, you'll probably have an excellent time here. Metal Gear Solid 5 is the final game in the Metal Gear series. Yes, I did say final. We gave Konami a chance to make something without series creator Hideo Kojima, and what did they do? They made Metal Gear Survive. That's what they did. Included in this package is the prologue, Ground Zeroes, the main game, The Phantom Pain, and the Definitive Experience DLC. I don't even know where to begin with trying to briefly cover this game. If you've never played a Metal Gear game, don't worry. The complicated backstory is there, but it's really not needed to understand what's going on. Fans of the series, you'll understand a few bits and pieces better than everyone else, but if you like the series for the story, 5 is a significant shift, with Big Boss not doing a ton of talking. You still get some of that super serious stuff juxtaposed with really silly over-the-top stuff, but the tone is definitely more serious overall than in past games. What everyone needs to know is that this is an excellent stealth shooter that allows you to approach missions in a huge variety of ways, including not being stealthy at all. Want to go in with a rocket launcher and kill everyone? You can do that, though you'll get more respect and resources if you play more carefully. Rather than kill a guard, why not put him to sleep, attach him to a balloon, and kidnap him to work for you? There's just a huge wealth of gameplay options with none of them being the wrong way to play. If you like third-person games where you can shoot people, you will find a way to play that you can enjoy. My only advice to you would be this: don't get tied up doing side missions for too long. They get very repetitive, and it's not super rewarding to keep doing them. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, this game has an online mode, and it's actually pretty solid. Immortal Redneck is a first-person shooter roguelite starring a redneck who's been immortalized as a mummy. You go through a randomized pyramid, shooting enemies and finding new equipment and scrolls, powering up your arsenal and trying to survive as far as possible. Whenever you die, you can spend the gold you found on your run to get permanent upgrades for yourself, and try again. In general, I'm not a fan of permadeath games, but the movement and shooting works really well here, and the permanent upgrades feel good. This one took me by surprise. I'm not sure if I'll ever finish it, as it's pretty difficult, but it's certainly fun. Purrfect Date is a visual novel dating sim where you date cats. If you like visual novels, I get it. If you like dating sims, sure thing. If you like cats, I can even kind of understand that. But a game about dating cats as a human, and it's long. There's a ton of dialogue. It strongly emphasized the novel part of the visual novel. There were some hints at something weird going on behind the scenes that kind of piqued my interest, but good lord, the cat dating part made me so uncomfortable that I wasn't willing to push through to see what it was. If you've played it and liked it, feel free to drop a comment below if I really missed something huge. Otherwise, hard pass for me. 7, The Days Long Gone is an isometric stealth action RPG. You play as a thief and, of course, have to steal things, and do it stealthily. You can be detected by both sight and sound, but if you are, it's not the end of the world. Combat isn't super dangerous, but it certainly takes a lot longer than just assassinating an enemy or bypassing them completely. You can use your senses to get a better look at the area around you, which comes in handy quite a lot. The game is also open world, and it usually doesn't give you waypoints to mission objectives, so you have to pay attention to your mission and to your surroundings in order to succeed. This type of game is usually too difficult for me, but this one is in just the right spot to where I actually want to play some more. So overall, how was this bundle? Cut and Run was a great exclusive, and it's cool to see a game taking inspiration from Katamari. We've now gotten every Sniper Elite game except for Sniper Elite 3 through Humble Monthly. I have no idea what that's been about. Maybe we'll get 3 in the January bundle next month? Overall, there was a good mix of genres, AAA, AA, and indie titles. And my favorite, some games I had never heard of before, even if one of those was a cat dating sim. So how much bang for your buck was there? To total everything up, getting all these at full price would cost about $209, while getting all these at their lowest sale price would cost about $61. Overall, I'd say this was a pretty decent bundle. Next month's early unlocks are Just Cause 3 XXL Edition, Wizard of Legend, and Project Cars 2. Let's take a sneak peek. Just Cause 3 is bonkers. You start off standing on an airplane shooting a rocket launcher, and the game only gets cooler from there. The awesomeness of the game lies in its movement mechanics. You have a grappling hook. It shoots really far. If you're ever walking, you're playing wrong, because you can grapple there faster, even on the ground. If you grapple something above you, you can shoot your parachute on the way up and glide very far, very quickly. Or you can swap to a wingsuit and, oh my god, I love this game! You can grapple enemies and do a flying kick into them, or onto a helicopter and take it over. Or you can grapple two things together and pull them into each other. It's so fun! And it looks great too. My only complaint is that it took forever to load up the main menu the first time I played it, and it basically locked down my whole processor while I did it. That aside, this game is awesome, and I can't wait to play more. Wizard of Legend is a roguelite with wizards. First, gotta say, the pixel art. Top tier. And thank goodness it has great gameplay to go with it. You're a wizard and you equip spells that determine your attacks and how often you can use them. They can be as basic as a slash, or you can shoot several fire dragons at once, or ice crystals to freeze everyone. And they all feel great to use. Movement is quick and precise, and attacks feel powerful. Enemies, of course, start to feel powerful as well, and yep, you're gonna die a lot. It's a roguelite after all. But dying didn't feel painful. I was just stoked to go again. There's lots of nice little touches that take it from good to great. Like if an enemy drops an item and you don't have a use for it, like health when you haven't taken damage, you can leave it there and it'll stay there forever for you to go back and get it when you need it. Or if you find a shop and don't have enough money to get what you want there, the room with the boss portal opens portals to all the shops you've found in the current level, so you don't have to backtrack. And you can run fast if you move for a few seconds. Ugh, it just feels great. This one supports local co-op, which I'm dying to try. I'll be doing some more of this one for sure. Project Cars 2. It's a driving game, and it's too hard for me. On the rookie race, I spent so much time off the track, my lap times were all invalidated. Steering is difficult, and just trying to stay on the track, much less ahead of everyone else, I don't know how anyone does it. So for this one, I fail you. Look up a review elsewhere because I can't tell you much about the gameplay or if you're gonna like it. What I can tell you about is the VR. I started this game up in non-VR mode, which worked normally until I entered a race, at which point I had no sound, and messages were cut off on the side of the screen. I was confused until I realized it activated VR mode anyway, but the view was messed up and I still had no sound. I restarted in VR mode and could get menu sounds, but nothing in the race itself. Really strange. I won't be playing this one again, but if you love driving games, you may find something that you like here. Thank you all so much for watching. We'd love for you to join us on our Discord server, where we have a small but growing community. There's a link in the description below. Now I'm off to go play Smash Brothers, and I'll see you in January.